everybody, my name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So today's video is going to be me talking about my Make 9 plans for 2023. Before I start talking about that, I'll let you know what I'm wearing. And I'm wearing fairly old makes actually. This is a combination that I wear time and time again, particularly when the weather's a bit chilly. It's a little bit cold today and it's a little bit rainy. So I've got my Tilly and the Buttons Freya jumper on in just this grey cotton jersey that I got from Abercorn Fabrics. And then these are the Helen's Closet Yanta overalls in this gorgeous brushed cotton fabric, and that's floral and it's got a mustard background. I love the Yanta overalls, and I've just finished mine with dungaree clips instead of buttons. If I've got a photo of me wearing the outfit, I'll pop it in now so you can see what it looks like. And with any patterns that I talk about, I'll link them down below. The fabrics that I'm going to talk about today, I might not be able to link all of them because some of them are quite old fabrics. They've been in my stash for a while. So I've been taking part in Make 9, which is a sort of sewing, I don't know if it's just sewing actually, it might be knitting and crochet as well. But it's a crafting challenge. There's no prizes or anything like that. It's personal to you. Where we're encouraged to make some plans to sew up or knit or crochet across the course of the year. So last year I decided to deviate from using patterns. Typically people tend to use patterns to drive their Make 9 plans, and I'd done that the year before, but I was very unsuccessful. I think I sewed up 2 out of my 9 plans. So last year I decided to pull out all of my fabrics and use my fabrics to sort of drive my Make 9 plans, and it was my most successful year of taking part in the challenge. I sewed up 8 out of the 10 fabrics that I chose last year, and I found it really motivating. I also found it a really great way of using up some of my stash fabrics. Now I have a lot of fabric in my stash, and I've actually been using an app called Stash Hub to sort of track and keep a record of all of the fabrics, and I was really surprised when I was adding those fabrics to Stash Hub as to how many fabrics I've actually got. So I'm actually on a bit of a sort of a fabric buying ban at the moment. So using fabrics for my Make 9 this year is the perfect way of using up some of those precious fabrics that I've got in my stash. So I've pulled out 9 fabrics that I feel quite inspired and quite motivated to sew with. I've got really loose plans for them, but some of the fabrics I would welcome your suggestions. One of the fabrics, I will start by saying I've actually already completed that plan, and that's my first Make 9 completed. And I found last year that I got really inspired by pulling out lots of fabrics, and I ended up making 4 in the first couple of months of the year, which was more than what I'd done when I was using patterns. So I'm just going to go down, I've got my notebook here, I'm just going to go down the list of fabrics that I've written in my notebook and talk to you roughly about some ideas that I've got. And like I said, there'll be some fabrics that I'd like your suggestions for as well. So I had a quilted fabric in my Make 9 last year, and I have a quilted fabric in my Make 9 this year. It's an absolutely gorgeous fabric that I got from Fabric Godmother. They definitely don't have this in stock anymore because when it was listed it sold out like that. It's an absolutely beautiful quilted fabric, and I've got a couple of meters. I think I bought 2 meters of this fabric. It's a black quilted fabric. It's got big cats all over it. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous and super duper fun. It's really thick and really cozy and warm. And when I first bought this, I originally wanted to turn it into a bomber jacket. But actually, towards the end of last year, I used some quilted fabric to sew up a coat, like a full length coat, well, a coat that stopped at my knees. And I used the Tilly and the Buttons Eden coat. So because I've got 2 meters of this fabric and it is quite a wide fabric, I would like to turn it into a coat as opposed to a bomber jacket. So I haven't quite decided on the pattern yet. Over Christmas I spent some time reorganising my patterns, so I've got like all my jumper patterns together, all my dress patterns together, coat patterns, etc. So I'm going to pull out all my coat patterns and have a little think about which pattern I would like to use to sew up this gorgeous quilted fabric. But that's the first fabric that I've pulled out of my stash for my Make 9. If anyone's got any suggestions of coat patterns you think would work with this fabric, please do let me know. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. The other side of it is just a black fabric. I don't think, oh, I've got a bit of fluff there. I don't think I'd need to line this coat. And I really want to make the most of that really fun print. So if anyone's got any suggestions of coat patterns that would work, please let me know. So like I said, that's the first fabric. Just gonna grab my list. Oh, the next fabric I've got on my list, this is another fabric that I bought, felt really inspired, and then kind of chickened out using it. It's a gorgeous, furry, fluffy fabric that I got from Felicity Fabrics. I don't know if they've got any of this in stock anymore. If they have, I'll link it down below. It was described as Marshmallow, and I bought this for Ruby and Lola, and I think I got 2.5 meters of this. And I bought a pattern, I can't remember the pattern company, but I think it's called like the Storybook Cape. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with this fabric. I'm going to turn it into a cape for both Ruby and Lola, and hopefully I've got enough of this fabric. It's a really gorgeous, fluffy, fake fur fabric. It's really snuggly and really warm. On the inside, it's just got a little bit of texture, but I just think this would work really nicely as a cape. It's also got a little bit of drape, so it has got lovely movement, and I think the swish of a cape, this would work so beautifully for the swish of a cape. So I've got firm plans for this fabric, and I'm going to use that pattern. I'll put an image in of the pattern and I'll link it down below once I've remembered who the pattern company was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I really love this fabric, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then the next fabric is the fabric that I've actually used, and I've only got a teeny tiny, I don't know what I've done with it. I've got a tiny bit of the fabric, like the teeny tiniest offcut, and you can't even tell what the fabric was like. But it was this black lace, and then it had this gorgeous sort of spirally rose detail. You can just see a tiny bit of the rose detail there, and it had a little bit of silver glitter on. I've actually used it, and I've turned it into what I was going to turn it into. Lola and I have absolutely loved watching the series Wednesday over on Netflix. We've watched it a couple of times over the festive period, and Lola requested a Wednesday Addams dress in the style of the dress that she wore to the Raven dance. And that is all I've got left. I had 4 meters of this fabric, and I have managed to turn it into the dress, and Lola's really delighted with it, and she's worn it loads already. I will put a picture in of her wearing it, but yeah, I'm really pleased. I felt really inspired and really motivated, and I bought this fabric a couple of years ago from Rainbow Fabric, not really knowing what to turn it into, but I just really loved the rose detail on the lace. And I'm really glad that I had it in my stash so that I could get on with that project almost instantly. I cut it out and sewed it up in the same day. I stayed up far too late to get it finished, but she's absolutely delighted with it, as am I. So that was the next fabric. So 1 Make 9 project already ticked off my list. The next fabric is this gorgeous floral denim fabric that I got from the Fabric Revival. I don't think they're selling fabric at the moment because I went on their website and it's not working, but I absolutely love this denim fabric. It's a non-stretch denim fabric, and I'm definitely going to turn it into a pair of jeans. I just haven't decided the pattern that I'm going to use. I've got a couple of jeans patterns in my stash. I've got the Megan Nielsen Dawn jeans. I've got the Anna Allen Persephone pants, which isn't a jeans pattern, but I have sewn them up in denim and I wear them loads. I've also got the I Am Sunshine jeans, which I might use this fabric for because I really like the shape of the I Am Sunshine jeans. They're sort of a balloon shape, so I might use this fabric for that. But this fabric is definitely going to become a pair of really bright, funky, colourful jeans, and I'm really excited about sewing those up. I just love all the colours and the shapes in that fabric. I just think it's a really fun fabric. And I think something like a Freya would go really nicely with this, but also a t-shirt, or I've got a couple of blouses that would go really nicely with the busyness of this print as well. So I'm really excited about getting those cut out and turned into jeans. And then the next fabric is a fabric that I bought when I went to the New Craft House party, but I can't remember which party it was. It was the 60s sort of themed party. I can't remember when it was. I think it was back in just before the summer holidays. And I went into the shop and I bought some gorgeous fabrics. And this fabric, as soon as I saw it, I could imagine it being turned into some Nina Lee Portobello trousers. So that is exactly what I'm going to turn it into. And it's this really gorgeous like houndstooth fabric. And I've got a couple of meters of this fabric. And I think this will work really nicely for some Portobello trousers. It's a really lovely sort of black and red detail on the fabric. and I really love the Portobello trousers. They're a pattern that work really nicely for me. They're really high-waisted, they're quite wide-legged as well, and I really like the fit of them. So I know this fabric is going to work really nicely for the Portobello trousers. I just need to get them cut out and sewn up. And actually that's a pattern that doesn't take too long to put together either. So this could be a fairly quick make 9 project completed. So I'm hoping to get that cut out and sewn up towards the beginning part of the year, so January, February, March time. It is quite a lightweight fabric, so I think it would work more towards sort of the when we get closer to the springtime and the weather's starting to warm up. I don't think I would wear these in the winter because I think I'd be a little bit cold. I could wear some tights underneath, but I think these would get more wear sort of March, April time. But I've got firm plans for that fabric. I'll see if New Craft House have got any of this fabric left on their website. From memory, they had quite a lot on the roll when I bought it, but I'll see if they've got any left, and if they have, I'll link it down below. But that's definitely going to get turned into the Nina Lee Portobello trousers, and I think they'll really add to my work wardrobe, so I'm really excited about that project. Oh, the next fabric I actually got in a Fabric Godmother Dream wardrobe box, and it came with the pattern, the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra shirt dress, but I just couldn't imagine this fabric being turned into the Lyra shirt dress. It's a viscose linen, and it's on like a grey background, and it's got this sort of zebra print background, and then it's got big cats all over it as well. I think it's a really fun fabric, and I think we got like 4 meters or 3.5 meters of this fabric, so I've got loads of this fabric to play around with. And again, it is quite a wide fabric. I'm not going to turn it into the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra shirt dress. Instead, I can just see this being turned into the New Craft House everyday dress. And I sewed up a version of the everyday dress over Christmas in this really gorgeous tulle fabric that had glittery gold dots on it. And that just made me really think that this would work really nicely as the everyday dress. And I would sew the long sleeve version, and then I would put elastic on the end of it for the cuff. I just think this would work really nicely. And it's a viscose linen, so it's got a nice amount of drape, and I think that would work really nicely for the sleeves and also for the tiers on the dress as well. So that's another fabric that I've got firm plans for, and I want to get that sewn up quite soon as well. You can tell that I'm really motivated by the fabrics. I feel more motivated by fabrics than I did when I was using patterns, and I want to get all of these things sewn up like in the next couple of months. But that's not going to happen because I know that I don't have a huge amount of time. Unfortunately, I do have to go to work and teach, and that takes up a lot of my time. But yeah, I'd like to get this sewn up sooner rather than later, and I think that's going to work really nicely for the everyday dress. So the next fabric is a really fun fabric. I think I've got 1 meter of this fabric. It's this really gorgeous seersucker, almost like checkerboard print fabric, and it's in like rainbow colours. I think it's really fun. It's a really lightweight fabric, and I think this is going to be a summer project. This isn't going to be something that I get sewn up anytime soon, but I'd really like to turn this into a blouse, but I'm just not sure what blouse pattern because I don't want to break up that pattern too much. So I was thinking the Anna Allen Anthea blouse. It's one of my favourite blouse patterns, but it's got a button, it's got a placket down the front, and I just think that that would break up that pattern. So I need to have a little think about what pattern. Again, I'm going to go through my newly organised fabric stash and see what top pattern would work really nicely for this fabric. I've got the I Am Joy blouse, which is sort of a boat neck. Is it a boat neck? I don't know if that's what you call it. It's like quite straight across the neckline, and that's got puff sleeves. This might work really nicely for that. But if anyone's got any suggestions, this is a seersucker. You can just see that texture. It's quite wide, but I've only got 1 meter of this fabric, and it is quite floaty, and I could just imagine this being some kind of blouse for the summertime. So please let me know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions for this gorgeous fabric. I just love all of those colours. I think they're really fun. Then I've got another really fun fabric that as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. It's got animals all over it. There seems to be a theme for a lot of my fabrics. It's lovely and bright and colourful, but it's kind of like pastel-y colours rather than it being really bright rainbow like this. And that's what I really love. I also really fell in love with this because I feel like the animals look like they've been drawn by children. And I just think this would be a really fun thing to wear to work. I think the children would absolutely love it. And I think they'd feel quite inspired actually to have a go at drawing some of the animals It's got lots and lots of different wild animals all over it. It's got a really lovely drape. Now I feel like this is just a viscose, but it's actually got a texture of almost like a crepe. So I'd have to go back through my emails and see what this was described as. I bought this ages ago and I think it sold out as soon as I got it, so I don't think I'll be able to link it. It's really lovely and floaty. You can see how much that fabric moves. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I just love all of those animal prints and the sort of pastel-y colours, and the fact that it looks like somebody's hand drawn them. I just think it's a really fun fabric. I've no idea what to turn this into. I got 2 meters of this fabric. It's quite lightweight, so I feel like it needs to be a dress. But then I didn't know if culottes would work better or if a skirt would work better. So if anyone's got any suggestions, it is quite a wide fabric. I'd really appreciate your thoughts on what to turn this into. I don't know if a skirt would work better, and I don't know if I'd get more wear out of it if I turned it into a skirt. But I'd really welcome your suggestions on what to turn that fabric into. And then the final fabric is a lace fabric that I bought from New Craft House. And when I bought this, I had the idea of turning it into some kind of lingerie, but I just haven't got round to choosing a pattern or thinking about what I would like to turn it into. It's this really gorgeous dotty lace fabric, and I've got a couple of meters of this, but I still don't really know what I would turn it into. And I feel like this might be the motivation that I need to actually tackle sewing up some lingerie, because I went on the bra making workshop at the New Craft House last year, which was really fun, and I learnt loads of skills. And then I came home really inspired to have a go at sewing up my own bra and knickers, and then I just didn't. I've bought all the notions, I've got everything to go with it, and I've got some more lace, but I just haven't done anything with it. I have seen on the New Craft House that they have got a bra pattern being released soon, so I'm going to wait for the bra pattern to get released. I think it's bra and knickers actually, and that might be the pattern that pushes me to sew up this gorgeous lace. But I wanted to include it in my Make 9, because I thought if I include it in my Make 9, then it's motivation to have a go at sewing it. So I'm looking forward to giving it a try. My dungarees keep falling down. I think I need to make them a bit tighter. But yeah, I've included it in my Make 9 because I thought it would motivate me to actually get this sewn up and turn it into something. So I'm eagerly awaiting the pattern release from the New Craft House, and hopefully that will be the little nudge that I need to actually turn this gorgeous lace into some underwear. And I'm hoping to turn it into a matching sort of bra and knickers. So I will keep you updated on how I get on. But those are all of the fabrics that I've pulled out for my Make 9 2023. If you've got any suggestions for any of the fabrics that I've shared today, please do let me know in the comments below. I've got one project already ticked off, which is really satisfying and quite exciting, and Lola's delighted with the dress as well. And I'm really motivated to get some of these fabrics cut out and turned into things. And then I've just got a couple of fabrics that I'm not too sure what to turn into, so I'd really appreciate your suggestions. Thank you for watching my video today. If you've enjoyed seeing my Make 9 plans, please do give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, and you'll get notified when I bring out my next video. I'm going to try and keep up with bringing videos out on a Sunday and also a Wednesday. Sometimes I might have to drop one of them. It just depends on what we've got going on. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care. Bye.